Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Zero to Hero, my unemployed challenge. Now, this episode is a big one. It's the Steel Derby, Port Talbot versus FM21. I mean, my past few games haven't been going well, but FM21, I believe they're 8th in the table. They can move up to 7th with a win here. And with 15th place, since taking over against Carmarthen, we've lost 3 and drawn 1, but we failed to score a goal. And in fact, we haven't scored a goal in 7 games, which really isn't good enough. I don't really know where to look for a in and out striker, especially in the team, because we don't have one. We have Sam Snaith, who's our main choice striker at the moment, obviously with Morgan Jones injured, but he's just not scoring. He's had 6 starts and 8 appearances in total, and he hasn't got a single goal, and his XG is 1, which just isn't good enough. And if we just go over to the transfer history, I have brought in Evan Corcoran. He's centre midfield, 24-year-old. I brought him in on a free simply because I thought he's a bit of a standard player. He's got good mental attributes with his determination and his positioning vision, but also relatively good physical attributes. I thought he could act in the centre midfield as a bit of a backup player, so I've got room to rotate them and keep them fresh. I've also brought in Anthony elGee. He's a 16-year-old winger. He's now, looking at his stats, they aren't the best, to be honest. He's got not too bad tactical attributes, no real standout mental attributes, but he does have he does have very good acceleration and pace, which I kind of wanted to inject that into the team, and I'm hoping, despite being 16 years old, he is going to be a player who does that. Okay, so looking briefly at our tactics, this is what I'm going to go for the game. A more cautious 4-2-3-1 wide. This is my most used formation on Football Manager. I do love the balance of it, to be honest. But we've got Jenkins in here, ball-winning midfielder. I've got him on defend just because Wally, who I've got left wing, he can't really play this position. I've got him in as inside forward, so he's cutting in a bit more. However, with Jenkins here, he should be able to cover him and also give a bit more defensive structure in front of Jones and Waters. So it's a pretty standard lineup. We do have our new signing elGee on the left wing, 16-year-old. Try and inject a bit of pace going forward on the counter-attack. We've also got Corcoran. That came out a bit awkward. It was a bit of a tongue twister. But yeah, we've got Corcoran in the midfield as well. I don't actually want him as a Corello. Actually, yeah, I'll keep him as that. And we've got Jones up top, who I will make into a bit of a target man. I know he's 1-star rated. I don't really trust the scouts or my assistant manager, because I don't have an assistant manager and my scout's pretty much useless. So, all being well, and we start off the game with a short passing, just keep the tempo nice and easy. Don't try anything too expressive and too risky. We're going to try and play it very simple to make sure we're working up from the back and going forward. All being well, I should stay with this tactic for the full game, but I do have a more defensive, direct counter-attacking tactic, which is 4-1-4-1 DM. Now, this is leaving the striker very, very isolated, so I don't really want to be going for this, simply because we are struggling for goals and the striker will just have no support whatsoever up top. So we'll stay with this standard 4-2-3-1 wide, and we will see you with kickoff. So here we are at kickoff in what is undoubtedly my most important game, the Steel Derby against FM21. This is a massive one, an absolutely huge one for us, so I'm hoping we can get a positive result from this. As Isaac takes the ball down the wing to try and find Perry, and it's a good block there. Goes out for a corner. I'm just going to turn down my game volume ever so slightly just because it is quite loud in my headphones. Bad ball out, finds Radford, finds Jones, and he's found his way behind us so easy there. Jenkins does well. That's why he's ball-winning midfielder. That's what we like to see. Again, Jones is quite isolated up top. Didn't find it there, but our other Jones heads it straight to Radford, and then free down the left-hand side again. Jones whips ball in. Hall clears with his head. Brilliant. They are really piling pressure down on the left-hand side here. What? Hang on a minute. What? What was that about? What was that penalty about? What? I mean, I didn't fully see it, but it definitely did not look like a penalty. I will be going back and looking at that. As we currently drop down to dead bottom of the table. 5 games in and 1 point out of potential 15 is not looking good for us. But again, we're just not creating chances. We've had 0 shots, 0 goal, 0 shots on target, 0 shots. As Radford collects Jones over top of Fari, chips the ball in. It's too easy. Far too easy for him going forward here. And there's going to have to be a massive rethink about what direction he'll take the club forward here. Because look at this, Jones, it's a good ball over the top, but is that Hall? Yeah, Hall is just stood above him, and maybe that's something in the instructions of keeping the line of engagement a bit too higher, but it's just poor defensive work. He's not stepped up with him at all. But hopefully we can get something back here. And Evans, it's a poor throw straight to their head. Buchanan finds Jenkins, great ball over top to Robinson, who hits the outside of the post. That was our best chance, a bit of a half chance, could have scored it, but not too good from what we're seeing so far, especially going into the first half, 2-0 down. Thought that was going to be free. Afari's had a great game so far, questionable penalty, but got a great second goal, a little chip over our keeper. So we haven't had anything really so far. I'm going to throw the water bottle to try and motivate them a bit more. Tell them I feel like they can improve, which didn't work at all. It just demotivated them further. As a kick-off, Waters plays it back to Hopkins. Let's see if he can do anything here. Finds Hall. Long ball forward to Jones, which hasn't paid off. As Reddy gets the ball to Afari, tries a shot. Good block by Waters. And that is our goal kick. So we are going to have to start finding some more chances from somewhere. Going to have to tell them to be more expressive, a bit more standard. I'm going to try shoot on sight just to get a goal. But it's not been great for us so far. We aren't playing well at all. Anthony Eardley not playing well, so I'm going to make a change there at 60. Actually, I'll let this highlight run out and then we'll make the change as Eardley goes to cross it in, per cross straight to the keeper, and he is being dragged for that. Well, not just for that, but he's being dragged. Lewis Mines can come on. I'll leave... Actually, I'll swap Wally and them two round. So, don't really like this new layout here. I'm not sure if you can change it, but it's a bit awkward having to change them over down here and seeing it work. So, not playing well enough. Thomas Evans really hasn't played well enough either. I don't really have a player I could swap him with. However, I will bring on Bailey Emblig Jones and confirm those changes and hope these players I'm bringing on, because if we can get an early goal here, then we might have a chance, but just looking very unlikely. As Eardley kicks ball, Corin, poor ball over top, Holmes collects easy. It's too easy. Ball forward, straight over to Hopkins. I think that was a good head by Waters. Decides to cook it, he didn't pick it up. Corin finds Eardley, who's breaking with his pace. Great ball into Wally, and it's 2-1. I don't believe it's 2-1, but it is. And it was that pace by Eardley which created the goal. So because of that, we're going to have to change this tactic a little bit more now. So I am going to... You know what? Eardley can still be dragged for that. I mean, it was a good cross in, but we'll try the change, see if it can benefit us in any way. But 2-1, that's our first goal we've actually scored at the club. and it was a good little break. We are going to go a bit attacking now, see if we can fire up the team. And he fires an absolute rocket into the top left corner. An absolute rocket. Look at this. That's like very top corner. It's a great goal, but it's really not great for us. As Jones tries to break forward again. Finds a big ball outside to Parry on the left-hand side. Not out to him. Jones intercepts the header ball, and Robinson is breaking forward. What can he do? Can he just play the ball? I mean, Wally was there in front of him in open space. He could have just played it. Evelyn Jones finds Wally now. Is he going to try and run it down the line? He does. Finds Kokorin, finds Robinson. Shot blocked by Roberts. Plays it up top. And that'll go out for nothing. So it's looking likely it's a loss here. It's really not a great start for us at all. It sees us bottom of the table, and it is going to have to be a massive rebuild at this point. As Waters heads away, Robinson's trying to break now. The goal here will be nothing but a consolation, and hopefully it'll be just a little bit of a morale boost, but to lose a derby, it's not going to be well on the players. As Mines gets there and he skies it. Oh, it was an open goal pretty much, and he skied it. I think that just sums up this team. It really does just sum up this team. It's not looking well for us. It is not looking well for us at all, and that is the game. That sees us go down to the bottom of the table. We never really stood a chance looking at our XG, to be honest. I was impressed by Eardley for the goal, but that was about it. He didn't really do enough, to be honest. Ended on a 6.6, which wasn't the worst. Just realised I actually swapped Jones and Mines round, which is a bit of a mistake I didn't realise, but still getting used to this new tactical view and the substitutes, so it doesn't really surprise me that I've done something like that. Jenkins didn't have the best game, I might swap him out, but Kokorin, 6.5, pretty average, not the best, and yeah, Evans didn't have a good game, so I'll be looking at a new right back, but we got a goal, and I suppose that's the only positive we can take out of it. Tell them that I'm unhappy with the performance, and we can only look forward to the next game now. And if we go over and have a look at our next games coming up, we've got Treflin BGC, who are 14th, so just above us. That'll be quite a big game. I will do a live commentary over that just because it's a big game, and we are searching for our first win in 8 games now. 5 games for me. It's not the best, but Ammerford after that, who are 10th mid-table. We've also got Taffwells, who are 6th, and Lanhill Town, who are 4th. So we've got 4 big games coming up. I'm going to do a little live commentary because the one for GoTray United didn't actually record properly, and I wasn't happy with it, so I didn't bother putting that in. But we'll do a live commentary for Trefl and BGC, and we'll talk over a few tactical changes and anything we will try. But Ammerford, Taffwells, and Lanhill Town, I'm going to play myself, try and get a feel for the team, also make some January signings, and then February we'll be back, and hopefully with a better team, we could push in for the last half of the season and try and stay up. Thank you for joining me in this episode. Once again, I appreciate any support or improvements. And if you like the video, hit the like button. And if you want to find out more, hit the subscribe. Peace out. Hope you had a great New Year and a great Christmas. And I will see you all very soon.